My name is Marcus Jager, and I have the Heart of Wisconsin Media here in Wisconsin Rapids, WFHR, and WIRI on the FM side. In April of this year, I bought from the Seehafer Broadcasting Company both of these stations. And I don't know, sometimes I just get in the way, sometimes I change some stuff around. It just depends on really what comes up. You know, it's been our goal since the first day I walked in to really bring this station back to more of a local focus, put some resources into it and make it a real benefit to the community. And I think we've made our first real strides with that. Today we've got the grand opening of our new building, and after we're done here, we're going to go back to the old building, go back to work for a couple of days, but we're just about set here, and it's very exciting for us. It's very exciting for us.
With the new ownership, Marcus comes into this with new eyes and wanted to originally, like literally the first conversation we had was him wanting to move us to a more location where we're more in the center of town, more in town, and more in the public eye. And that really started with him and his love of radio as he was a kid. Back when he was growing up, all those local radio stations had a lot of that same vibe where you could look inside, you could see kind of how the sausage is being made in that. He wanted to get back to that, and I couldn't have agreed with him more, and I think it's a fantastic idea. We got really lucky finding a location like this, having great people like Altman Construction to help with that, our incredible team here that did such a good job of getting this to even happen. Marcus and I met about a year ago around this time. To think about it like that in a year's time, these grand changes, that we're not talking about a new program or anything, a whole new location. We're going to be, we're just days away from being AM, FM syndicated, where same thing you can hear on AM 1320, you'll be able to hear on 97.5. The game changing that is. That's the thing. As excited I am about this building and being in a new place. Between you and I, there is nothing I'm more excited about than being AM, FM, and what that means for not just our station, but our community.
So I have to learn like who that audience is going to be. Are our AM listeners going to turn to be our FM listeners? Are we going to pick up new listeners? Over the Back Fence is a good show to think about. It's where you buy and sell and trade things. And right now we kind of have majority of older demographic that call into that show. But now I'm thinking with the FM, are we going to pick up some younger callers? I see these guys selling their stuff on Facebook Marketplace and all these other online channels, but now they're going to have a FM station where they can call and be like, hey, I'm selling my F-150 for X amount of dollars, give me a call at. And so I'm interested to see how the listener audience either develops or grows.
The last 7-8 years at WFHR and then WLJY, I think were neglectful years from ownership. And they would tell you that. They would tell you that. They didn't. I'm not being malicious. They just didn't have the resources to devote to it, and didn't really have the inclination, frankly. These folks love the station. You're in and out enough. You know that. And maybe you go, well, I wonder why. Sometimes, but they do. James is devoted to the station as anybody. Pam is of a certain age. She's worked here since high school. That was 1977, by the way. Maybe I shouldn't say that. But since 1977, it's the only place she ever really worked. She loves it here. This is her home, and the people love her, because they know they can depend on these folks. When you go to let's talk about Chuck Gennaro, the engineer. Chuck's dad is in the Wisconsin Radio Hall of Fame, Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Hall of Fame, and Chuck is grown up in this radio station, and worked here for a time, left for, I know it was 18 years, and then came back, I think 18 years ago. So there's a long heritage. I added it up yesterday. It's funny you should say that. Is between Pam and her husband and Chuck and his dad, they've worked here over 140 years combined. That's astounding, especially, and again, I've been in radio 2 years, but in radio, they're like bees. They flit from flower to flower, a lot of them. And for to have that kind of longevity, that says something. It says something about the community. It says something about them as individuals as well.
I got the best team you could ask for. You know, a little while ago, and it wasn't that long ago, but it feels like it was forever ago. We brought Steph Schmidt on as our marketing specialist, and Steph's energy and her drive is unparalleled. She is such a hard worker, and she gives so much, and she cares, and that adds a little extra bonus to it. We've brought Heather on with her, and Heather is fantastic. I really enjoy working. I've enjoyed working with Heather Sayers from when she was with the City Times. It's a natural fit, her being with us. Seth Habegger is a guy who I feel like the audience 10 years from now they're gonna talk about him like a lot of the famous voices out of WFHR. He's a perfect fit. He's not only caring and a good heart and a good person, but man, he is good. He's really, really skilled at this, and especially on the production side. He is our head of our production, and it is a title very earned. Like he's paid his dues to get that. We just brought on Melissa Kay, and Melissa comes to us from Toma with a lot of news experience. She did TV news in Toma. She's done a lot of theater. So she is one of these people that comes in where she's a Renaissance woman. She can do it all, and we're going to make sure to take advantage of that. We're going to make her do a lot. It's a great team. It all starts certainly with Pam Hilke, and not just her. She's our scheduler, and it seems kind of simple. Oh, scheduling. She also does billing. She answers the phones. She is our middleman for so many of these people that you hear join us on Morning Magazine. She's the one setting up these things, making these connections. She's literally the heart of our station.
No, it's been fine. With the cooperation of the city and some of our trusted contractors, I don't want to mention any names, it's gone pretty smoothly. It never goes as quickly as you want it to be. And then when you go quickly, you think it's going too quick sometimes. So it goes like it goes. It's been wonderful. I think the result is great. I think this has got a chance to do really, really well as a spot for what we hope to be a growing asset to the community. You know, it's been an asset to the community. Been here over 80 years. You know, that didn't get here by smoke and mirrors. It's not, you know, people had to run it through the years. And kind of the cool part about WFHR primarily is the longevity of some of the people and how people talk so fondly about people I never heard of. You know, but people that dedicated themselves here and worked hard. You know, I suppose I should have told people this originally, but you know, we've decided amongst ourselves, or most of us, that we're going to rename the hospitality room. That's going to be the Hilke Gennaro room, and not for just the people that you could clap. and it's certainly for the Hilke and the Gennaro that were here before, the Hilke and the Gennaro that are still here. But as a representative for all of those people that put so much time and effort in here and care so doggone much about this community, it's an easy community to fall in love with. Never mind how I know. You know, and I'm very appreciative of that. The staff here has been wonderful, from Pam and Chuck. You know, I added it up. I asked you a question yesterday. You didn't realize I was doing you. I out-funked you again. But between Chuck and his dad and Pam and her husband, been here over 140 years. Yeah. Now, what did I say, Joe? What did I say earlier? This is an industry where people that work in the radio industry go from flower to flower like a bee, you know, and to have 140 years of heritage, it says something. It says something about those people. And it says something about the community. You know, I'm proud to have a little part of it. That's all. Now, I do want to remind you there's food in the back in the Hilke Gennaro room. We're probably still going to call it the lounge or something. And I hope that you get something to eat. Make sure you get a mug and whatever else you want. And just know that this is a resource for you. And this radio station here is to serve your community, just like you do. All of you guys that are ambassadors and things like that, don't do it for yourself. You're doing it for the betterment of the community. We hope to be a little part of that. thank you all for coming. I'm amazed at the turnout.
Well, the people are down to earth, first of all. That's what I love about them. You know, even today, a couple of our listeners come in and told about 3 or 4 corny jokes, but it harkens back to us. I don't mean to be mauling, but it harkens back to a simpler time. At least for me, it does. And in a time that I always felt like I belonged to. You know, I like being able to make people smile, even if it's a dumb joke or if it's a funny joke. But people are glad to see you. I've had people thank me for what I'm doing. I ain't doing nothing. Thank you for listening. You know, that's really how I feel. The people have been tremendous to us. You know, I think tremendous.
Born and raised in this community, so it's just interesting to see the development of the community in the past 5-10 years, and the passions that you've probably heard of Marcus and the other staff here talk about. There's a lot of heart for not only the radio station, but there's a lot of heart in the community for our town, and so yeah, they kind of go hand in hand in a sense.
We're really fortunate that we have a good relationship with Wisconsin Rapids City Times and able to do something in print. We of course have the audio side of things, and you guys are top notch at visual and being able to work together more. So I think more of that. I think more of not just us being in the community at parades and events, but being more into the community, like literally. It's one thing to say you're a community radio station. You got to back it up. You have to have actions behind it. And we want to make sure that the audience is always knowing that we're doing that. I think that we're going to be going I know that we're going to be going much more music-centric as we go forward here. And our afternoons right now are kind of syndicated shows from all over the country. We want to give you something from here in Rapids, and we want to, play music that people are going to enjoy.
For WFHR and for WIRI, we're going to continue to grow. On WFHR site in the next month, we'll have an FM translator. So we'll simulcast on FM, and we'll always be on AM at 1320, but we'll be 97.5 on the FM as well. That'll open it to a different market. It also increases the quality of the sound. So you're going to hear more music from us. You're going to hear more local features from us. You're going to hear less generic filler, if you will. And again, I'm not a radio guy. Radio guys wouldn't say that's what that is, but that's what I think that it is. And you're going to hear more of it. We can't have somebody in the studio 24 hours a day, but we can have somebody in there from 9 to 5 or 7, probably 7 to 7 is really prime radio listening hours.
You drive around Wisconsin Rapids, even our neighboring communities, and you see just new developments, new programs and things going on, whether it be with the YMCA, the Aquatic Center, all these splash pads. We got one in Rome, Nakusa, here in Rapids. And so I kind of see the station doing, in a sense, what our town has been doing. We're going to be growing, we're going to be adapting. We've been Country Legends 24/7 on 105.5 since June of this year, and to see and hear all the excitement about the new station. I'll walk into, I'll use the bar as an example. I'll walk in to talk with one of the bar owners, and then all of a sudden all the customers are like, "Oh, you're at 105? I love that station. I just put on my presets today." And so it's just really exciting to see the excitement over something that like WFHR that's been here for 80 years and something with 105.5 who's changed a few times and has yet again changed in June, but then to see the excitement over it, because yes, the music changed, but the format became more local. You'll listen now, you'll hear, if it's happening in central Wisconsin, it's on 105.5 FM. And then you'll hear Country Legends 24/7 invites you to, which would be something like a local event and things like that. So I just see a lot of growth and a lot of potential, just kind of how I see Wisconsin Rapids in general with all the growth and potential that it has.
We got, last year, you and I talked celebrating our 80th anniversary. I am not a betting person. I don't bet on anything in life. I would put as much money as you want that WFHR will be around for another 80 years. And it'll be stronger and better, and it'll be even more what the community is looking for. You know, for various reasons, I think over the last 10 years or so, WFHR kind of got away from that a little bit. I can say a year from now at this time, our community is going to be extremely happy with what we have. And I don't say that egotistically, I say that being in the community and talking to people. It's only going to get better. You know, I mean, stay tuned.
Come on, Pam. Where's Seth? Bob, Randy. Where's the other Bob? I'm here. All right, you got both Bobs. Come on. Y'all need a feedback. I want you lined up like this. We're not grouping. I'll stand up straight though. Yeah, it's up
Okay, so everybody kind of find your window. Find your window. I just want to make sure I can see everybody's faces.
My window was 1985.
Great.